Okay, so you sent us this article from ARK Invest
Right.
about whether AI is really going to be as disruptive as everyone says.
Yeah.
And, they're known for spotting big trends. So this isn't just some random hype piece.
Yeah, definitely not.
Buckle up because we are diving into this with expert speaker who thankfully helped us make sense of all this beforehand.
Always happy to geek out about AI.
So the article starts by defining what actually makes tech disruptive.
Okay.
And it's not just about like big companies being slow to catch on.
Yeah.
It's something much bigger.
Yeah, it's true. The article talks about how with truly disruptive tech, the big players often can't easily replicate it even when they try.
Yeah.
Like the rules of the game change, and suddenly the old power dynamics don't apply anymore.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Okay, so how does AI fit into that? The article lays out these three key traits of disruptive tech, and this is where it gets really interesting.
Let's hear 'em.
First up, cost. We all know tech gets cheaper over time, but AI is on another level.
Absolutely. The article actually calls out how much faster AI cost declines are happening compared to Moore's law,
Right.
which for a long time was like the benchmark for how fast tech progresses. We're talking about what used to take 10 years in the old tech world now happening in under 2 years with AI. That speed is crucial because it means these huge established companies are constantly playing catch up.
Yeah, and it's not just theoretical either. The article gave this crazy example about how much more expensive it was to use Google's AI models versus OpenAI's simply because Google was behind on that cost curve.
Right. It's a perfect illustration of how this speed throws a wrench in the plans of these companies that are used to dictating the pace of, well, everything AI is turning that on its head.
Okay, so that's cost. What's the second trait of disruptive tech?
Think about it this way. Imagine a technology that isn't just making one thing better, it's popping up everywhere in every industry. That's the second trait, sector hopping.
Okay, I see where you're going with this. So it's not just about like social media feeds anymore.
Exactly. The article talks about AI diagnosing diseases earlier than human doctors, optimizing supply chains in real time, even writing personalized education plans for students. That's the everywhere we're talking about, and it's happening now.
Wow, okay, so we've got rapidly plummeting costs and the ability to transform pretty much every industry out there.
Yeah.
What's the third trait?
This one is huge. Think of AI not just as a product, but as a platform.
Like not just a cool new app, but the foundation for countless others.
Exactly. It's like the invention of electricity, which wasn't just a new gadget, but the basis for an entirely new world of possibilities. Suddenly, everything could be powered by it. AI has that same potential.
So we've got this technology that's getting cheaper by the minute, has its tentacles in every industry imaginable, and has the potential to be the foundation for, well, basically everything. That sounds pretty disruptive to me, but then the article takes this interesting turn. It dives into how the big tech companies, the ones you'd think would be all over this, are actually kind of struggling with AI.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. I mean, they obviously see the potential, but it's like AI just clashes with their existing business models in a big way.
Right, and the article gives some pretty eye-opening examples of this. Like they talk about how Google's AI has had some, let's say, public learning moments,
Yeah, like what?
like showing people of color in Nazi uniforms.
Yeah.
Definitely not the kind of disruption they were hoping for.
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, man, that's not good.
Not a good look.
And then you've got Apple, who wants to keep everything, tightly controlled. So they're limiting their AI image generation to just a few very specific styles. It's almost like they're handicapping themselves to avoid, like, rocking the boat. You know what I mean?
Totally. Like they'd rather AI just took it slow,
Hmm.
let them keep things predictable, right?
Exactly. Their whole business models are built on predictability. Knowing what people want, delivering it efficiently, AI. Not so much AI is all about exploring uncharted territory, embracing the unexpected, and that makes those companies well uncomfortable.
Yeah, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place. They need to be a part of this AI revolution, but at the same time, it's like this huge unknown that could completely upend everything they've built.
It's the classic innovator's dilemma, right? Do you hold on to what's working, even if it means potentially falling behind? Or do you risk disrupting yourself in the hopes of staying ahead of the curve?
And the article makes this really interesting point. The biggest threat to these tech giants might not even be other tech companies. It's something much more unexpected.
Really? What's that?
Well, they say it's the companies who already have mountains of data. And I'm not just talking about tech companies here.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Like
Yeah.
companies that have been quietly collecting data on, well, everything.
Yeah, like social media companies, for example.
Yeah. Exactly. Think about all the data Facebook has. Your interests, your friends, what makes you click, what makes you scroll, that's incredibly valuable information. And it's not just social media either. Think about healthcare, finance, retail.
Oh my gosh, they know everything.
Right.
It's
It's kind of creepy when you think about it. But here's the thing. It's also incredibly powerful when it comes to AI.
because AI thrives on data. The more data it has, the smarter it gets.
Exactly. The article uses Tesla as an example. They're not even technically a software company,
Right.
but their self-driving cars are out there collecting insane amounts of real-world data, way more than any language model could ever hope to capture.
It's like they're building this massive data set without even trying.
Exactly. And that data, that real-world data, is gold. It's how AI learns to understand not just the digital world, but the physical world we live in, the nuances of human behavior, the unpredictability of the real world.
So the real winners in this AI game might not be the ones with the best algorithms today, but the ones with the most valuable data to feed those algorithms in the future.
Now you're getting it. The landscape of power could shift dramatically, and that's what makes this such a fascinating time to be watching this unfold. We're witnessing the very beginning of a potentially massive transformation, and it's anyone's guess who the ultimate winners and losers will be.
And that brings us to the article's final point. This disruption isn't some far-off event. It's happening right now.
Absolutely. We're seeing the early signs everywhere we look.
It really makes you think about what we're not seeing, right? What's hidden in plain sight, just waiting for the right AI to unlock its potential.
Yeah, it's like we have all these puzzle pieces, but we don't know what the picture is yet.
Exactly. And that's a great point to bring it back to our listeners.
Yeah.
We've explored these big ideas about AI disruption, but what does it actually mean for you? How can you use this knowledge?
Well, I think the challenge is to start thinking differently about data.
Okay.
It's not just about numbers on a spreadsheet or information in a database. It's raw material fuel for innovation.
So don't just see it as information, see it as potential.
Exactly. Whether you're in healthcare, finance, education, whatever field, you have access to data that can be incredibly valuable.
And those hands might be yours.
It's true. The more people who understand the power of AI and the potential of data, the more likely we are to see truly groundbreaking innovations.
So listener, here's our challenge to you after this deep dive. Take a look around your world, your work, your life, and ask yourself, what data is out there that's being overlooked? What problems could be solved? What opportunities could be unlocked if that data was used in new and creative ways?
It's a question worth asking.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because the answers might surprise you. And who knows, they might just change the world.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time.
So true. Keep those questions in mind and let us know what you come up with. Hit us up on social media. We're dying to hear your thoughts. Until next time, this has been The Deep Dive. Thanks for listening.